This is K1DBC. All stations please stand by. The DRC Learning Net will begin in 5 minutes. And again, we're also streaming on YouTube. Feel free to check that out on YouTube. W0TX and DRC. If you search for that, you should find the stream. Minutes. And again, we're also streaming on YouTube. Feel free to check that out on YouTube. W0TX and DRC. If you search for that, you should find the stream. Test, test, test. Test, test. Minutes. And again, we're also streaming on YouTube. Feel free to check that out on YouTube. W0TX and DRC. If you search for that, you should find the stream. This is K1DBC. The DRC Learning Net will start in 1 minute. All stations please stand by while the repeaters are placed into net mode. Test, test, test. Test, test.
P.
Good evening. This is K1DBC, Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie. My name is Daron. I am the net control for the Learning Net, Denver Radio Club Learning Net tonight. This is a directed net for the purpose of connecting amateurs seeking help or advice with Elmers willing to mentor. This net meets every Wednesday, except the third Wednesday of the month at 1930 hours on the W0TX repeater on frequencies 145.490, and it's linked with 448.625. Both have a negative offset and a tone of 100. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? For recognition by net control, please use your call sign. Everyone is welcome. This is an on-air meeting for amateurs seeking help and Elmers giving their time to mentor. If you have any questions for the Learning Net and don't yet have your license or otherwise wish to contact the net, you may do so via email at drclearningnet@gmail.com. We also have a public mailing list, at groups.io/g/ham learning net. Also, as mentioned, we are streaming these nets on YouTube now, so if you search YouTube for W0TX DRC, you should see within the first few results my channel. My name is Daron, and you can either click on that and go into there, or you should see the live stream not too far down the screen. We will go ahead and begin by inviting Elmers to check in. Only Elmers. With or without traffic, all Elmers, please check in now.
Alpha, Alpha, 0, Juliet, Kilo. AA, 0, JK, Fred, Narvada, good evening.
All right, Net Control would like to thank and acknowledge the following Elmers. AA0JK. Thank you, Fred, for checking in as always. One more call. Anyone else who'd like to check in as an Elmer, just a subject matter expert or anything, feel free to do so at this point. Please call now. Okay, I'll go ahead and open up for regular check-ins. They will be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. That would be the first letter after the number in your call sign. Please use I2 phonetics as you check in and indicate if you have traffic or questions for Elmers as you check in. If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
Kilo 0 Echo Hotel Romeo, Mark in Littleton, no traffic.
Kilo 6 Hotel Juliet Victor, Tom, Arvada, no traffic.
November 0 Echo Yankee Zulu, Jim, Littleton, no traffic.
U0 Foxtrot Charlie, Jerry, Lone Tree, Colorado, no traffic.
Whiskey Delta 6 Delta Oscar Kilo, Rich in Arvada, no traffic.
Alpha Fox 0 Echo, Alex Bromfield.
Okay, this is K1DBC Net Control. We're going to hold up there for just a moment. All right, Net Control wishes to thank and acknowledge the following check-ins. K0EHR Mark, K6HJV Tom, N0EYZ Jim, W0FFC Jerry, WD6DOK Rich, and AF0E Alex. Thank you all so much for checking in. Call one more time. If your call suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Alpha Echo Yankee. This is Patrick, Highlands Ranch.
All right, that time we had KF0AEY. Patrick, thank you so much for checking in. I'll go ahead and take the second part of the alphabet. Well, actually, just go and open up the whole alphabet. This is K1DBC Net Control. If your suffix begins with the letters A through Z, Alpha through Zulu, please check in now.
Kilo 0 Yankee Echo Sierra, Kid in Broomfield.
Kilo Echo 0 Tango Hotel India, Paul in Lakewood, no traffic.
Kilo Echo 0 Uniform Victor Lima, Jason, Denver, with traffic.
Kilo Delta 0, Yankee Papa Kilo, Mike Littleton, no traffic.
All right, this is Net Control, K1DBC. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. K0YES Ken, KE0THI Paul, KE0UVL Jason with traffic, and KD0YPK Mike. Thank you all for checking in. All right, one more call. If you'd like to check into the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net with any traffic or questions or just for the count, please call now. We're taking all calls.
This is Whiskey 0 Alpha Tango Zulu. Greg in Castle Rock with an announcement.
All right, that time we had W0ATZ, Greg, with an announcement. One more call just at the moment. If you'd like to check into the DRC Learning Net, please call now. Okay, sounds good. There'll be a few more opportunities throughout the net to check in. Again, this is being streamed on YouTube, so you don't even have to check in to really even view and hear the net anymore. It is archived, so feel free to view it after the fact as well. At this time, I'll go ahead and throw it over to, I believe it was Jason, KE0UVL with traffic. I believe you were the first person with traffic. Go ahead, Jason, the net is yours.
W0.
I'm curious, how is my signal? I am in my apartment in Denver, and my window does not face towards Inglewood, so that's my question. How is my signal being received?
Your signal sounds good. Maybe it's just me, but it sounds like you're calling in from a tin can a little bit, but it's definitely readable and audible. So no problem. If anyone else wants to comment on that signal report, go ahead. All right, yeah, Jason, you sound good. Yeah, I can hear you just fine. No problem. If you have any follow-up, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So I have one question about the DRC packet radio repeaters. I'm curious what that is all about, what sort of packet radio protocols are supported, what they're for, all of that.
All right, good question there. Packet radio on the DRC network, absolutely. It is fairly standard. I wish I could do a live demo of it, but I don't think my software is working. But we were just speaking about this last week during our Elmers session. But if you go to w0tx.org, you can find a link for the packet network. Let me see here. It's right in my face, I'm guessing, and I just am not. A packet network map. You could just kind of see, basically you basically dial your radio to a certain frequency, and it can be done with basically any FM radio. And as long as you can interface the audio to your computer somehow, you can connect with other people, and you can connect up to the DRC like it's a BBS system. Basically, you dial into it, and then you kind of just run some commands and whatnot. I know that. Let me drop here for just a moment. I know that we recommend somebody. I keep forgetting who it is. Bill AC0VC. He maintains that. So if you have questions on that, please feel free to contact him. I'll see if I can bring something up here. If anyone has any comments on packet radio, though, I know we were just speaking about it recently. Anyone, go ahead though. All right, yeah, I'm just trying to bring up the software that I used here. Give me just one more moment here. All right, good air. Dead air is always good. So while I'm doing this, I'll try to speak about it here. If you have, let's just start with this. What type of radio do you have?
I actually currently only have a Bofang UV5RA, which is not the most popular radios I know. I'm aware of several people who have successfully sent APRS packets by connecting their Bofang HTs to a cell phone, an Android cell phone, and running the APRS Droid application. So that's kind of my first introduction to packet radio, and I'm now curious about the whole subject, which is why I bring up the question.
Okay, yeah, absolutely, sounds good. Yeah, with that, there may be some. You could definitely interface that radio's audio via cabling to a computer for sure. And definitely to an Android phone or something like that. There's some Bluetooth enabled things that you can connect your phone to your radio. These are called TNCs, a terminal node connector or controller. Let me just see if I can bring any of this up here. Give me just a moment here. But feel free. Anyone else have any comments on packet radio? Any comments? Any introduction into it? Anything you want to bring up on it? Please go ahead.
This is W0ATZ. I'm sorry. I didn't know if you were calling for me or not. I was out of repeater range for a second.
No problem. No. Just we're still working with Jason on his on the packet question here. Thanks, though. We'll call on you in just here a bit. Okay, yeah, just to save us some dead air here, there's definitely ways to interface your Bofang with your computer to do packet radio with or APRS or things like that. I haven't done that myself. I have a base station, an FT857, a Yaesu, which I use with a sound. USB sound modem, sound card essentially, Signal-Link, and it just converts the audio and puts it into the computer. A lot newer radios have just a USB cable that comes out and interfaces with the computer. There's definitely a lot of things online. I bet if you Google or go on YouTube and search for packet radio, there's definitely some pretty good tutorials out there. So that would at least be my suggestion for now.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, I think you've answered my question about the DRC packet radio repeaters and what their purpose is. It's very interesting to know that they are sort of like a bulletin board system. So I'll have to do some more research and look into the different protocols involved and how that all might work. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I couldn't give you some great tips just at the moment. But yeah, there are definitely some things I can share, some links I can share, and there's some pretty good introduction. I know once you get it all working, it works pretty well, but it's a little finicky to get some of these things set up. So good question, though. Anyone else on packet radio or the DRC packet radio in general? Have you used it? I've seen some messages. I've logged into there once in a while and sent some messages, things like that. So if anyone else has anything else on the DRC packet radio network, go ahead. All right, this is Daron, K1DBC. I'll see if I can get a live demo set up at one point with my rig, and we'll try to do some things here on a Learning Net. Very, very cool. So with that, though, we'll go ahead, Greg, W0ATZ with an announcement. Please go ahead.
Good evening to the net. This is Greg, W0ATZ out of Castle Rock, and just wanted to invite everybody to our Facebook group. We have an active group that tries to get together on a monthly basis, and we have a really good turnout. Our group on Facebook is called Mountain High Ham, and you can find us by typing www.facebook.com/groups/Mountain High Ham. No S, just Mountain High Ham. We also cater to those who don't have face crook. We'll send you out postcards, emails, or what have you to get you out with us. But we are a very active group, and additionally, if there's any non-licensed ham listening, I'd like to invite you to our group as well. We have Elmers that would love to mentor you and help you out with your endeavor to become a technician. So again, our group is Mountain High Ham, and if you have any questions, you can look me up on QRZ, W0ATZ. Back to net control.
W0TX repeater.
All right, perfect. All right, this is K1DBC. Thank you so much there, Greg, W0ATZ. It's always nice to have people popping in here and giving some suggestions on that. Yeah, absolutely. Mountain High Ham on Facebook. Thank you so much. Yeah, feel free to check that out. And if you have any questions, don't ever hesitate to reach out to them or anyone else. All right, thank you so much. All right. this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. I'll go ahead and take this opportunity to take any other further check-ins. If you've just tuned in, this is an on-air meeting for the amateurs seeking help, and Elmers giving their time to help us. Everyone's welcome to join in. If you wish to check in at this time, please do so with your call sign using ITU Phonetics and your name, and state if you have traffic or questions for the net. Please call now. All right, one more call. This is Daron, K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. If you'd like to check in at this time, please do so with your call sign, your name, and let us know if you have any traffic or questions for the net. Please call now.
This is KF0 AFA Kilo Fox 0 Alpha Fox Alpha Jordan in Littleton.
All right, I got KF0 AFA Jordan. Thank you so much for checking in. All right, this is Daron, K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. I don't see anyone else indicated they had traffic or questions, but if you do, or if you've thought of something, or if you want to bring anything else up, please feel free to call now. Okay, this is Daron, K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning, and I have a few things I can pass. You know, and actually I had a question I will pose to the net. Let's do that. My question for the net is it ever too late to get a degree in engineering or become a professional engineer or pursue a career in engineering or something like that? I know that this is a hobby for a lot of us, but some of us, we have professions where we overlaps with it. I just wonder if anybody has ever seen somebody in adulthood potentially pursue a career in engineering or something, and how feasible might that be?
A0JK, if you can afford the tuition, go for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's a good point. If financial means is not an issue, yeah, absolutely, that makes sense. Why not? Why not? Yeah, I've been. I work as a network. I've been in IT for about a decade now, and I don't necessarily want to switch careers, but I certainly have a lot of interest in this, and potentially may want to pursue something more. But I was just thinking about that, and I just wonder if anybody else has any other thoughts on that. Please call now.
Comment.
Yeah, go ahead with the comment.
Are you familiar with the GROL license, the General Radio Telephone Operator license?
I have heard of that, yes. And actually, my brother has that, and he works for, I forget which federal agency, but he has that, and he does kind of a lot of work that I do, as well as a lot of radio work. So that seems like a very interesting option to pursue as well, because I know there's definitely a lot of things you can pursue with that too, with the GROL, the general radio telephone operator license. Yeah.
Yeah, I personally think that would pull a lot of weight as far as getting employment. But I hold that with the radar endorsement on mine. But if you go to Gordon West's books, he has available there a study guide for that license. And that certification on your resume will probably help immensely. But it is not much different than the extra class license that you now hold. In fact, there's a lot of similarities between the extra class license and the general radio telephone. You're just going one step from amateur into commercial, so you have to learn all the commercial aspects of it. But it's just the next step up, going from amateur to professional.
All right, thanks there, Fred A0JK. Yeah, I remember when my brother was studying for the GROL, he definitely, it sounded like the questions were very similar, and it covered very similar topics and things like that as the amateur extra test as well. So, all right, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was just throwing that out there. You know, I don't know. So we'll see what happens. I hope maybe one day I might pursue something, and we'll see. So, anyone else on that topic of getting into engineering in adulthood, or moving into that career, or any supplementary work? I'm not necessarily starving for work, and I don't necessarily want to leave my current career, but I always want to just learn more and do more. So anyone else on that, please call now. All right, no problem. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Does anyone else have any other questions or topics or anything? Otherwise, I can pass a few other bits of information here.
EHR.
Yeah, Mark, K0EHR, go ahead.
Thanks, Jerome. I just have a question. I don't know if anybody has done this, but you know, I've been getting fairly heavily into some of the digital modes on HF, FT8, FT4, JS8, all those things, and I have a lot of fun. But actually, I'm going camping this weekend, and I don't want to take all my HF stuff with me because, as you probably know, some of you may know, I've got kind of boat anchor, mid-80s vintage equipment that's just not really designed to be portable. So my question is this. I can interface one of my VHF, UHF, 2 meter, 70 centimeter HTs into a Raspberry Pi, and through that, run the WSJTX suite, all that kind of stuff. But what I'm wondering is, has anyone had any luck doing FT8 over 2 meters? There's a dedicated frequency for it. I've just never tried it. So before I pull all that stuff out and try it, I thought I would see if anyone else has been down that road. Thanks a lot. Back to net.
Great question there, Mark. I have not done FT8 or too many digital modes on 2 meters. That's a great question. Anybody have any experience with that, or any results, or anything you want to share in regards to any digital modes on 2 meters or 70 centimeters, and what that might entail? Please call now. All right, one more call. This is Daron K1DBC. Mark K0EHR has just questioning about FT8 on 2 meters and just wondering what that looks like and if there's any difference in the QSOs. I'd imagine just the you just click the buttons and it does it, and then you go from there. I guess just depending on the range of your 2 meters, you may be able to hit something further on. I know we were not too long ago we were talking about 2 meter propagation. So if you got a good line of sight, you may get outside of the state on that. So I'll throw it back to you, Mark. Though K0EHR, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Jerome. Yeah, I kind of figured that was the response. That's kind of the response I've gotten from everybody else I've asked. And that's fine. One of the things that attracts me is we're going to be up near Leadville, on the side of Mount Elbert. So we're going to be really high with really good line of sight. So, the way FT8 works is typically simplex propagation. Of course, the VHF is going to probably be line of sight. So anyway, it's not too hard to try it. So I'm going to just bring the stuff with me and see if I can figure out how to get it working. But anyway, so I may have an interesting story next week if I get back in time. Thanks for listening anyway, and I'll let you guys know. Back to that.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, and I was just looking up. I know that there's this YouTuber OH8 s.t.e.m is his call sign, Oscar Hotel 8 Sierra Tango Nancy. And I know he's covered audio, Raspberry Pi and digital modes, QRP or non-QRP, but portable, a lot of things like that. So that might be worth checking into. But and then there's always the WG08T Steve with his pack goats. So yeah, have some fun and feel free to let us know, please. That sounds very like a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Thanks. K0EHR, back to net.
Okay, this is Daron, K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. I'll go ahead and pass a few things here, and then I'll come back to net and see if anybody else has anything else. As always, good resource, RTL-SDR.com, Romeo Tango Lima Sierra Delta Romeo.com. They have some pretty good talks, or they article here highlighting DEF CON 2020. And some of the SDR-based talks that were given, and there's some links to some YouTube videos that you can go and watch. So, spoofing ADSB. I mean, we just had a conversation. Jerry W0GV had given a presentation not too long ago on ADSB and how it's the next generation for tracking airplanes. So there's some spoofing going on there. I know there was some spoofing of some 4G things. Let me drop here for a moment. Looks like some introduction to ACARS, which is the I forget exact aircraft. Let's see, what it stands for? Aircraft Communication Addressing and Reporting System. How you can listen in with software-defined radios. Let's see. Another talk here discusses various uses of SDRs when it comes to aerospace monitoring. Talking to satellites and simulated satellite communications on Raspberry Pi, using Pi FM as a cheap transmitter for emulating satellites when testing ground stations. So, a lot of cool talks there. So, DEF CON 2020, look on RTL-SDR for that. Some, not necessarily espionage, but, reporters using ADSB data to uncover the role of U.S. private contractors playing East African air operations. So there's a lot of stuff going on there, and people are using ADSB data to track and understand who these companies are and dig down and figure out what's going on there. And I know there was some other discussions about how they revealed Black Hawk helicopters and drones for surveillance during the early BLM protests, and there's some lot of things through SDR, pretty or ADSB as well. Over on, and I'm sorry, this is Daron, K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Over on hackaday.com, if you have any interest in electronics, definitely a lot of cool projects that they show, either from hobbyists or students or professional, and some radio, some not radio related, but some pretty cool things here. Let me see. There's just all sorts of things, really. Just a few titles of articles of mini CNC mill goes horizontal to reuse CD drives. So somebody reused CD drives to make a CNC machine. I forget what that stands for exactly, but it's reductive manufacturing and computer numerical control. Let's see what else here. Air quality meter on breadboards, assembly language. Let's see, some guitar work here, 3D printing stuff. So if you have any interest, there's a lot of big community out there of people just kind of tinkering around and checking things out. All right, this is Daron, K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. One more time, this is on YouTube, and I've been putting up some other things here. We have talk, again, if you want to view the ADSB by Jerry, or I put the Skywarn's spotter class online as well, and Jeff Ryan's talk on AR Rocky Mountain Division, and Bill Buckwalter's on the hotspot confusion. So feel free to check those out if you ever want to just catch up on old content, and hopefully we can keep providing that. All right, this is Daron, K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. I don't have too much more else at the moment. I'm sure I could dig a few things up, but if anybody has any other further comments, questions, or check-ins for the net, please call now.
W0TX repeater.
Hi, Jerome. K0RCW just checking in.
All right, sounds good. K0RCW, Robert, got you checked in. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Just scrolling on the arrl.org/news, and yeah, there's obviously there's a upcoming current hurricane going on, Hurricane Laura. So people are getting prepped for that, and nets and things like that. So be on the lookout and on the air, and you might be able to hear what's going on with that. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Any other comments, questions, or check-ins for the net? Please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Just finding out some more information here on the Hurricane Net. Looks like it's going to be, well, it was this morning. 8 a.m. CDT 1300 UTC on 14.325. So potentially same time tomorrow, 1300 UTC on the same frequency if you have any interest on that, 14.325 megahertz. It sounds like they also have some simultaneous on 7.268. Maybe. Okay, this is Daron, K1 DBC Net Control. Does anyone else have any other further comments, questions, or anything for the net you'd like to bring up? Please call now. Oh, okay, I do have one more thing here. I know we had briefly spoken about Arecibo Observatory last week and damage that was incurred. And I was finally able to find some photos of it, and it is awful damage, unfortunately. Let me see if I can dig up one more thing here. Give me a moment. All right, yeah. On August 10th, a support cable in the Arecibo Observatory pulled loose from its mount and crashed through the face of the primary reflector. Images taken from the iconic 305-meter dish made famous by such films as Contact and Goldeneye shows an incredible amount of damage. The section of thick cable estimated to weigh in around 6,000 kilograms, 13,000 pounds, had little difficulty tearing through the reflector's thin mesh construction. It's also struck the Gregorian dome, the structure suspended over the dish where the sensitive instruments are stored. It's unclear whether or not any of that instrumentation has been damaged, though NASA at least has said the equipment they operate inside the dome appears to have survived unscathed. How long will repairs take? Who's going to pay for them? It's funding for the 60-year-old telescope has been difficult to come by since the early 2000s. Cost of repairing minor damage sustained during Hurricane Maria in 2017 may have been enough to shutter the installation permanently if it hadn't been for a consortium led by the University of Central Florida. So hopefully we get to continue on having that, but if you there is an article on hackaday.com from the 24th with some pretty good photos and just a lot of good information on it. So uncertain future for them. All right, this is Daron, K1 DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club Ham Learning Net. Does anyone else have any other comments, questions, check-ins, anything else you'd like to bring up for the net? Please call now. Okay, with that then, we might start to close things out here a little bit. I guess we'll cover club business here. Our next our next club meeting is going to be September 16th at 7 p.m. Presentation topic to be announced. More info at w0tx.org on that. It is virtual, obviously, at the moment. It is Google Meet. You do not need to, any of our meetings, you never need to be a member or a ham radio operator to really ever attend. If it is on the air, obviously you need to be an operator to transmit, but you're always more than welcome to listen. And in this case, it's on Google Meet, so you're more than welcome. At 6 p.m., there's an Elmers session, which is very similar to this, and you're more than welcome to come and hang out and ask any questions. So there'll be a link on the W0TX webpage for that. Again, September 16th. It's 6 p.m. for the Elmer session, and then 7 p.m. for the regular scheduled meeting. See if I can run through a couple nets here that try to remind people of. K0BSA, or the Boy Scouts of America Denver Area Scouts Net, is Sundays at 1930 hours. Not sure if they're still. I think it's the first and the third Sundays at on 449.450. So feel free to. You can find more info on that on the W0TX net listing, I believe, if not the RMRL site. It is the RMRL. rmrl.org has a really good net list as well. Other club nets, Sundays we have a 6-meter net invitational, 10 a.m. at 53.090. So if you have a 6-meter capable radio, feel free to stop in there and hang out. I definitely know that that's a pretty regular net as well. A digital net. Somebody had at one time asked me to remind people of. If I can find that, I'll try to bring that up here. I know coloradodigital.net. If you have any questions about digital radios, digital hotspots, they meet on Tuesdays on their talk group 31088. And you can find more info on them at coloradodigital.net.
W0TX repeater.
Okay, it was the another net. Here's the Castle Rock Repeater Group net. Let me bring up the information here. Let's see, that net. If you go to mycrrg.club, you can find more info on their nets. There's a nets icon there. Let's see. I guess Wednesdays at 7 p.m., I think. Or at least that's what it used to be a bit ago. Clubs are always looking for net controllers. We're also always happy to have you on the air controlling the nets, either the Wednesday night net or the Sunday night net. Please don't ever hesitate to jump in. We're more than happy to help you with that. There's also other clubs that have plenty of other nets that are held by run by same people. It seems like quite often. So don't ever hesitate to jump in to. If you've been with a club for a while and you want to jump in and try something, or if you ever just want to jump in, don't ever hesitate to. Okay, with that, just a couple last things here. Again, w0tx.org for more info on the Denver Radio Club W0TX. There's also a bunch of information on there about all the repeaters and the nets, and people are selling things and want to buy things or things like that. There's always things like that on the site here. You can find more info on the club and lots of things on there. They have the roundtable newsletters, archives of those, and it's always kind of neat to go back through those. So w0tx.org. Okay, with that, we'll go ahead and take final call for check-ins. If you'd like to check in just for the count or any other final last-minute traffic, we do have about 10 minutes left here, but if anyone else wants to have any other traffic questions or anything else, please call now. I did have one more thing here. Unfortunately, the QSO Today Hamfest, they had all their videos on YouTube, and they've removed them, unfortunately. So hopefully they don't keep them behind that gate for too long, and they unlist them, because that'd be kind of unfortunate. So I know that I had mentioned you could go onto their YouTube, but you still have to go to their actual webpage if you want to view any of the info. QSO Today Ham Expo or QSOtoday.vfairs.com for more info. Okay, with that, this will be the final call. Anyone else? Any other check-ins, comments, questions, anything for the net? Please call now. Okay, we'll go ahead and start to close and wrap things up here. I believe I appreciate everyone being here this evening. Again, it's on YouTube. Feel free to watch it after the fact there. Any of our nets, I'll try to start streaming going forward if you miss them. And they are live streamed, so if you're not in the vicinity of the Denver metro area, you can always join and chat on there. Again, you'd have to search for W0TX or DRC on YouTube, and you should be able to find that. All right. Again, thank you everyone for being here. If you wish to contact the net with topic suggestions or to set a date to act as net controller or guest Elmer, you may do so via email at any time at drclearningnet@gmail.com. You don't have to do that. You're more than welcome to just pop in any given Wednesday night, and I'm more than happy to help you out with that. So it's not that formal. Again, we're also on groups.io/g/ham learning net for links to material on past net topics. This evening, we had a total of 16 check-ins, and we'd like to thank everyone who participated. We especially appreciate and thank our Elmers. Thank you to Denver Radio Club for allowing us to use their repeaters for this net. We invite you to join us on the third Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. for an Elmer session prior to the regularly scheduled Denver Radio Club meeting at 7 p.m. In person, this would take place at the Jefferson County Administration Courts building in Golden, but as mentioned before, you can find it. It'll be online on Google Meet, so you can find more info at w0tx.org for that. Please join us next week at 1930 hours, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time for the next Learning Net. I'll go ahead and close the DRC Learning Net at 2023, 8:23 local Mountain Time. This is Daron, K1DBC, closing the DRC Learning Net and returning the frequency to general use. Thank you. All stations, please stand by while the repeaters are placed into normal mode.
PL on.
All right, thank you all so much for being here. Hope to hear you all next week, and hope everyone takes care of themselves. And 7-3 to all. K1DBC, I'm clear.